Welcome to the Game 2 in the Challenge of Masters Arabia between Tougu playing in blue and VNS RoxWorld playing in orange. So we are into Game 2, which always means we are going to see that Aztecs war, and I think I've managed to close a few extra things this time, so my computer should be pretty good, and I don't think we've experienced any lag yet, which is good. And apart from that, there's not really a lot else to say. But what do we usually see from Aztecs in the Dark Age? That is the barracks going down, and then we see the 5 militia coupled up with the Eagle Warrior. And that's quite an interesting force to use in the Dark Age. Well, it's the only force you can really use in the Dark Age. But the fact is, once you put that Eagle Warrior in there, it becomes actually quite a large and devastating force. 5 militia, they can box in villages really well as that Eagle Warrior, if it gets away, it is able to run in very close to the town center, hit it once, and run away, just to get that final kill. So it is a very deadly combination when you actually think about it, especially with the Eagle Warrior starting off with that Pierce armor. It just manages to do that as well. So, Lumber Camp going down for RoxWorld right now. Tougu doing pretty much the same thing, going down with that. 3 villages on wood to 3 villages on wood. So it's the same setup from both players. However, we did see Tougu start off without finding his 4 sheep there, but he's managed to find them there, and looks like we're actually getting a bit of sheep scouting right now, and I've just clicked view lock there instead. But there we go. So he's found his boar, he knows where his deer are at the back here, knows where his other boar is, knows where those berry bushes are, and importantly knows where most of his gold piles are. Because I always stress in Aztec Wars, a lot of the time it does come down to who has a better gold area. Just because of the fact that if it's harassed, there's not a lot you can do. Of course, with Aztecs they have pretty decent trash, so there's not a lot that you can't do, but it doesn't give you the option to absolutely just spam archers like they usually do. And that Eagle Warrior getting out of there with not a lot of trouble at all. 4 villages there, so I'm expecting to see the barracks go down. We've already got 4 over here, so we'll probably see the barracks go down as well. When you see a lot of villages on wood, like I usually say, you can usually expect to see that barracks nice and early. And there's a transfer from the boar there to the berry bushes, which of course is very important. And the villager going out looks like he could be to lure that boar. But we've got Rox copy right now trying to steal his opponent's boar here. Of course, it's not as hard to lure a boar as it is with a scout cavalry, as it is with an Eagle Warrior, because the Eagle Warrior doesn't run quite as fast, which means you can just do this nice little zigzag pattern, which is good. And trying to lure it away from his opponent here. And here we can see we've got Tougu trying to scout it out, trying to find out where he is. You've always got to be careful when you're luring as well with this Eagle Warrior, because if it does take too many hits from the boar and then this Eagle Warrior here comes in, it can snipe it pretty quickly. And that really just means one thing. That you'll lose your Eagle Warrior and the boar will go back to the main location. And it looks like he's going to get this boar lure actually, yes, without too much trouble there. Not a lot that Tougu can do right now unless he attacks the boar and it decides to go for him. And there we go, so he's managed to get the boar still there, which is always important because, like I say, it's not 340 food lost to your opponent, it's 340 food lost to your opponent, and 340 food gained to you, so it's quite a big advantage. And when you're going down with 5 militia this early in a game, getting that boar, it gives you so much of a food advantage. It means you won't have to go for these deer, even though these deer are actually really close to the town center. I would be surprised if he doesn't go for them, but as we can always see, luring boar, it does really affect your scouting. We can see right now Tougu does have quite a good view of scouting. RoxWorld, he's got a decent area too, but not as good. If we just check the populations quickly, we've got 30 for RoxWorld and 26 for Tougu. And if I swap over quickly, we should be able to see how many militia are currently being created. And they're already on the way, so there goes the 5 militia there, very quick. Of course, having that extra boar there will do a lot more. So militia usually want to arrive around your opponent's base about 10:30, that's my favourite timing. But every now and then you see it coming at about 11:30, but in my opinion it's generally too late around then, just because of the fact your opponent's actually already gone up to feudal, and the idea is you really want to confuse them before they can hit it, and you want to delay them hitting that feudal button for as long as you possibly can. Because, as we know, people always, well not always, but lots of people actually stress out when they see a large group of militia and an Eagle Warrior head into their base, and they get too busy microing their villages around it and trying to keep their economy on, and they actually forget to hit that feudal button, which is actually one of the biggest things, because every second late you're into feudal, you're not building villages, and you can't keep up with your opponent's archer production or scout production, because you can't build those spears, you can't build scouts, you can't build skirmishes, there's not a lot you can do. But Tougu actually going down with the barracks now, so a bit late, but I could see him going into an archer combination, mainly because of the fact that that's what Aztecs usually do. But the fact he's got these militia out as well, it just means that going into archers, it's just really a standard movement. And he doesn't really have a lot else he can do, honestly, unless he wants to go for full man-at-arms. So archery range is there. And here we go. taking on all these wolves here. We actually have the forward villager going up for Rox copy right now, double forward, and it wouldn't be surprised if he whacks a tower up here. Good placement, going to be able to get that gold mine there as well as this area here. Don't think it will reach these villagers over here. But again, we can see Tougu is pushing up his advantage yet again. Man-at-Arms has been done right now for RoxWorld, and unless he can get in there and do some damage, it's not going to be that bad. But if Tougu is able to hold it back and they can't do any damage, you got to remember, every resource you spend in Feudal Age and Dark Age, it really comes down to quite a bit. And an extra tower going down there, we actually saw that both towers over here get deleted off. And 84, and looks like this tower might not go up, so this could actually be quite bad, especially if it doesn't. And going up there, it is going to delay, of course, these villagers here. Probably would be better if he starts focusing down on these units here, just because most likely he's going to lose this tower. He's not going to be able to take this one out. So definitely the better idea would be to sniping these villagers. Just like it is when you get into your opponent's base with a group of crossbows, the best thing you can do is actually to kill villagers instead of their army, just because villagers in Feudal Age you can only produce one at a time. Sorry about that, I just had lunch. But it looks like we could actually see RoxWorld going for the tower rush right now. He's got quite a few villagers on stone for usual. He's putting that second tower up over here, forcing his opponent to put up another one. And if his opponent hasn't been gathering stone, but he wouldn't be able to. So he's got that stone already, so it means he should be able to defend from it quite a way. And Tougu going up to Castle Age, yes, this could be a good game quite quickly for RoxWorld actually. Having the archery and the smith up means that naturally we can tell he's going to be going for those crossbows. And probably be a good time for RoxWorld to retreat, because he's tried to put the pressure on right now, but it hasn't worked. He has been running him low down on wood though, as we can see by the depleted farms. But once these crossbows get down to RoxWorld's base, he's going to have a lot of trouble defending it. He is getting skirmishes out, and he's probably going to try and get as many as possible out right now, just because he knows his opponent's going crossbow. He has got the range and attack armor upgrade, not the armor upgrade, but the range and attack upgrade. But his opponent's going to have that range and attack upgrade twice, which means he's going to be outdone. And if you can out micro skirmishes, there's not a lot they can do about it. And is that village there getting attacked? No, it's not. So what did we see Tougu do in this case? He can move to another gold mine, which is over here, and he can move back right now. We see RoxWorld only going up now, so it might not be too long a game actually if we're not careful. Losing the heal bonus there, so that's going to do a lot of damage, and these crossbows just walk in here, bad micromanagement there, and losing one there for no reason. You've got to remember, every unit, every resource you spend in this game, especially early, is really, really important. You can't get away with it. Every unit you lose is essentially one unit you can't attack with, which is, I guess that's pretty obvious, but it's really interesting. What are we seeing down here? Small army going up from RoxWorld. Towers have been put down, so he has got the pressure on Tougu still, but Tougu is managing to take the lead at the moment, just because of the economy lead right now. And of course that means that he's going to be able to just keep soaring in front. He's going to have all those tech advantages, as well as being able to get multiple town centers up. But the towers aren't doing all bad. They are managing to get a bit of harassment on. But all these ranges going down, all the upgrades that have been done, the crossbow, he's going to be able to do sufficient damage to hold RoxWorld back. I think RoxCopy is his AOC's own username. Not sure. Don't know why I said that if that's not the case. But here as well, they're going to be able to take out these skirmishes quite easily, because they don't have that range upgrade, so they're going to be able to outrange and just keep the damage on. And right now, there's currently like 400 points difference, which is something you don't want at this stage in the game when there's been so little damage done. And forgetting to reseed his farms there, always got to watch your economy a lot. Siege Workshop going down, probably a smart idea, because as we know, the best counter to mangonels is... the best counter to crossbows is mangonels. Jeez, I seem to be really out of it today. Maybe I should stop. Well, I'll stop after this game and then wait a while and see if I want to do another one. But wouldn't be surprised at all if we see the mangonel get created. There it is. So he's going to be able to hold these back. But these towers here, all three towers going down. And that's definitely a waste, because they did not do enough damage for what they were used for. Of course, they did get that little bit of harass in, but it wasn't really enough, in my opinion. I haven't seen another town center for Tougu going down yet, which explains why his score is still around level. And Mangonel going to be able to keep fighting. However, we have seen the elite skirmisher from RoxWorld, which is fair enough, because he knows his opponent is going with crossbows, so he may as well get that upgrade as soon as possible. He has got the armor upgrade on there, but his opponent has both armor upgrades and both attack and range upgrades, whilst he only has the attack and range upgrades as well as the +1 armor. And like I always say, ooh, looks like this could be damaging here, could lose this stable potentially. Looks like he's deciding to go through here instead of going through the 26 archery range. Archery range says stable, guys, sorry about that. Small amount of skirmishes there, but he's going to have the hill bonus here, so he probably will be able to take this with some good micro, but looks like he's going to decide to go straight back out of there. And we see lots of archers actually up in here right now for Tougu, so there's not going to be a lot RoxWorld can actually do, especially when he doesn't have that mangonel in position. It's all the way down here, and we see the opposing mangonels right now, 2 of them there, so there's going to be a lot of damage done to RoxWorld if he's not careful. And so what's probably the best defense we can see now? Not a lot. You could just wall off and pray, get some mangonels behind that, but these crossbows here are just going to be able to go to town on these units back here. And seeing another barracks go up, which is always interesting, because that generally means we could see Eagle Warriors, but I wouldn't be expecting to, because it's just generally in Castle, and Eagle Warriors in Castle Age just aren't as good as they are in Imperial. They are losing a lot of those upgrades, and there's not a lot they can do. Offensive tower going up there. We can see that RoxWorld's currently in a hell of a lot of trouble. He's got crossbows in his base, he's got 2 mangonels heading his way, he's got more crossbows heading his way. He's trying to get pressure on his opponent, but his opponent has walled himself in too well, and this tower acting really, really well. And if he's not careful, could lose a lot of these units over here to this mangonel, and he might actually lose them if he's not careful. And should be within range. Going to take out that mangonel first, no doubt. And looks like we've got the suicide mangonels there. Taking out this tower here, which is going to be a big deal as well. Of course, that mangonel did have the hill bonus, well, both of them in this case, so it should have taken them out fairly quickly. Eagle Warrior is still being produced by RoxWorld. That's generally a bad move, in my opinion, just because of the fact that they're not really that good until you get to Imperial Age, and especially when they don't have those upgrades. You really need to get those armor upgrades on them as soon as possible when you're going up as archers, because you've got to remember they'll be attacking you while you close the gap, and closing that gap is probably one of the biggest things. And this might look like good game actually right now. He's under a lot of trouble here. Looks like this mangonel could be dealt with. Yes, there we go, but more and more crossbows being sunk in. We have quite a force over here. Lots of gold miners there. Lots of gold miners here. We have quite a good economy right now from Tougu. He's up by 500 points. Skirmishes are going to be able to make a difference, of course, because they're up against crossbows. But if we look at Tougu right now, he might be going up to Imperial soon. Doesn't look like it. Very, very lucky, but we do see the university down, so it looks like we're probably going to get ballistics through that. Mangonel here, and not a lot these units he's been able to. RoxWorld just has been able to get enough pressure on Tougu at the moment. Eagle Warrior is of course going to come in, and there we go, we've got the first armor upgrade on them, but I don't think it will be enough, especially when he comes up across this tower here, and if we see a fast wall, no, forgetting that wall there, but we do have quite a few units in here, and they are getting picked off very, very quickly. Like Eagle Warriors do when they don't have all the attack upgrades. And Skirmish is getting taken down at the bottom of this hill. Mangonel getting pushed forward. Quite a few skirmishes in play actually right now. So Tougu's going to have a bit of trouble getting in unless he has some good hits with this Mangonel. But Mangonel, of course, going to be able to do a lot of damage in one hit. And here he comes. Is he going to get the Mangonel hit? Doesn't look like it. But these units up here are definitely going to be able to do the damage. And this looks like it could be the end down over here for RoxWorld's offensive. Ram could be taken out though, it looks like it will be by these Eagle Warriors. Eagle Warriors again on the front, but they're going to be able to be taken down quite easily by these crossbows and this watchtower over here. And there's a good game from RoxWorld. Looks like he did lose all his skirmishes over here, that's sad to see. But this is what we see. So for those who don't know the plans of the channel, actually, I'm going to be finishing off the Master Arabia games I actually have at the moment, and then I'm going to go straight back into normal casting, because Master Arabia doesn't seem to be that popular at the moment, which I know it's good fun to have there, so I'll put up as many as I can, and every now and then when I get a chance I will, but it's not as exciting as other games could be, so I'm going to start looking for them again, and hopefully in the next few days I'll finish up with the Master Arabia tournament. Alright guys, thanks for watching.